Hello brothers and sisters of the interwebs, or Nasu here. Have you ever wanted to play Toho but felt that 2 dimensions was too much to worry about? Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to play Guitar Hero on shrooms? Have you ever wanted to fight a garbage can for some toilet paper? Well, I got the game for you. Everhood is a reverse rhythm game, RPG adventure game, it's a bit of a lot of things. After a short opening dialogue where you can outright tell the disembodied voice that you don't want to play the game, you are brought to the world proper as a literal puppet that just got its arm stolen. Known as Red, your goal is simple: chase down the thieving gnome and, more importantly, get your arm back. Along your journey, it will be an expansive cast of characters ranging from a robot with memory issues to vampires to the aforementioned garbage can. Gameplay of Everhood is rather simple at first. Don't get it by the notes. You can dash, jump, and air dash, as well as, for some fights like a tabletop-inspired section, deflect certain projectiles. The projectiles are easily readable, and even in the more hectic moments, it's rather manageable so long as you can keep your cool. Wall nodes can't be jumped over, long nodes cover more than one column, it's pretty easy to keep track of and learn for yourself. By the way, did I mention that the gameplay is actually an in-universe thing? Because it very much is. Some characters can affect the outside, and early on characters point out that they've learned what qualifies as a combat encounter, and have set up rooms to keep you from entering standard combat mode. Even in these encounters, though, the developers keep their high-tier soundtrack and keep the gameplay following said rules with the soundtrack. The attacks are not random, aside from very few instances, but these have story reasons and aren't just random for random's sake. Every column in the arena is a note. Chords create the big notes, and every song follows these rules. Several have special things that happen in them as well due to the instruments used, but every song is fantastic and memorable, from the very first tutorial song to the florist fight, and even the secret lunatic encounter. The songs are so great, in fact, that I've had them running as I type out the script, and is in fact what I'm using for the background right here. Soundtrack is so good, in fact, I'd say the game is worth even the $10 it usually runs just for the soundtrack alone. If you aren't good at rhythm games, well, it's got you covered. The game has many difficulty options, and even one that's just for the story. Speaking of the story, it's pretty good as well. If you want to go into the game with a fully fresh slate, I fully recommend it. But for those that want a little more info on the story because it's what you want, I'll give you a warning before I go into the heavy spoilers. All good? Alright. So, you relatively quickly find said gnome and then get dropped into the very first area of... We know the parameters of the fight, so we're gonna do this so you don't get put into it. A furnace and a grid. And where difficult, it is very much doable. There are no full unforced deaths in the game, but odds are you will fail the first time through. After which you will get talk to the god of this world, and after a drug trip involving gnomes, you'll be spat back out in the now destroyed furnace, and find out your lovely thief has been betrayed, and the true goal of hunting down Gold Pig for your arm is set into motion. Next, you move into the main major hub of the game, which is very reminiscent, at least to me, of Yume Nikki. There's side quests, world building, puzzles, interesting characters, and things change from time to time when you complete certain things. This game also has a lot of things that do change based on decisions and progress, among other things that you normally wouldn't expect. I know I wouldn't have batted an eye if saying no to the "do you want to start the game" voice didn't change the intro, but they actually acknowledge it. It's a neat little thing that adds quite a bit to showing that the voice is its role of god / above the main world. In the end, you dodge, puzzle, and for a short bit D&D your way until you put the door together and go to the desert to the second longest walk in the game. It's arguable you have a proper fight with Gold Pig and get your arm back. This is as far as I can go before getting into major spoilers, so if you don't want those, here's your chance to skip to here in order to skip the spoilers. Everyone good? Alright. Immediately after you take your arm back, the building you were in changes. You go back and run into some of the masked phantoms that you've likely run into before now. They give you the quest of killing everyone in the world. You know, simple stuff. With your new ability to reflect attacks, it's slightly different from how it works in the other 2 segments. You have the ability, but you need to absorb 2 of the same attack, and you can attack back with it, assuming you don't take damage at any point during that. It's the reason you were powerless with only 1 arm. The Phantoms send you out stating that they are all immortals, and it's a curse for all of them, and that you need to release them from the world. So you get to go back through all the worlds in the hub, kill everyone. Some resist, some curse you for your attempts, some question you but wind up just accepting it, and some believe that you're just a bloodthirsty murderer. Some people accept it as part of their life, or trusting in your judgment. My only issue with this segment is there are a few fights that, due to how they are in the no reflection segments, they're on an invisible timer, and in one of the cases of this, you're likely doing it for the first segment that you actually have this ability, and, well, you have to learn the new ability, still survive, and fight the timer all at the same time. And even though they're knocked unconscious or worn out to the full extent of their energy if you fail, they aren't able to be killed afterward until you actually defeat them in the combat. They'll just get back up over and over and over and over until you kill them in the combat. It's a bit odd in my personal opinion, but it's only a sparse few fights, only 2 that I can even remember now in the whole game, so it doesn't bring down the overall experience much. Kill people, finish the side quest in Neon Town, open the mysterious box in the florists. Trust me, it's great. Fantastic song. Go into Green's house, go down his mysterious snake eater hallway. Kill until there's only one soul left on the counter, talk to the mysterious figures back in the hub, kill all the doors, then kill the sun. After killing the sun, you discover you weren't red at all. You were actually the mysterious pink figure you kept seeing in certain fights all along, namely the gold pig fights. All the characters will give their 2 cents and berate Pink again for her murder spree, and after a short cutscene, it's actually revealed that you, the player, are red. After 2 more areas of exploration and some more dialogue from key characters about the past and how they were increasingly growing afraid of Pink's red persona, you succumb to the darkness and are brought into the fight to end the immortal realm. Throughout this fight, there are multiple things going on as you are very literally killing reality the more damage you do to the boss. Though the boss agrees that immortality is a curse and cheers you on after failures and coaxes you to win. After you kill the mysterious voice, you are teleported to one final area where you can talk to key NPCs again, including the mysterious light being, and they all finally accept their death and thank you for freeing them from the immortality, as they seemed to had grown bored or had been tricked into life of servitude or had fallen into ways that they were not happy with. After your final talk with all of them, you can approach the mysterious being for a final song/fight where everyone thanks you one last time and speaks on some key moments. You get your final universal truth and the game is over. You unlock New Game Plus. This is, of course, only one ending and is most likely the one that you'll get the first time through. There are also a few New Game Plus exclusive boss fights. I'll leave those as a bit of a surprise though, because I still highly recommend you picking up this game and playing it yourself. It's free for the month of February as part of Humble's monthly pass, and that's how I got it due to being gifted by a friend. I highly recommend it, and it's an excellent game with a fantastic soundtrack and enough options to be accessible to almost anyone. For those that prefer number score, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 actually. While watching all this back, I kind of want to actually wind up playing through it again. I still got a couple bosses that I need to actually wind up beating, and I need to figure out what's up with that cat statue. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked, subscribe to catch more of the stuff down the line, and socials are down in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!